Part one, my boyfriend was engaged to a woman, and I only found out at his wedding. I thought I knew my boyfriend. Thought we were in love. Thought we had a future together. Turns out, I was the other woman. And I found out at his wedding that I met Jake, 29M, at a friend party last year. Tall, charming, funny, with this ridiculous smile that made you feel like the world only existed for us. We hit it off immediately. Coffee dates turned into dinner dates, then into weekends away together. He introduced me to his friends, but somehow, his family? Never met them. Weird, but I shrugged it off. He always had excuses. They're private, family stuff, complicated. I never thought twice. Fast forward 6 months. He tells me he wants us to move in together. I'm over the moon. I'm planning our weekend shopping, picking out furniture, imagining us. Then comes the text I should have noticed. Can you come to my wedding next Saturday? I know it's short notice. I thought maybe a friend's wedding? I said yes. I didn't realize he meant his own wedding. I arrived at this picturesque hall, everything elegant, lights sparkling, soft music playing, and there she was, his fiancée, standing in a long white dress, smiling, radiant, and Jake, looking at her like I didn't exist. That my heart stopped. My hand shook. My mind went blank. I ran to him. Jake, what the hell is happening? He laughed nervously, tried to explain. I wanted to tell you. It didn't feel like the right time. Yeah, right? 6 months of dates. Dates he claimed were special moments. And he's been engaged the whole time? I couldn't breathe. I couldn't even think straight. I watched him exchange vows while I felt like my life had been edited out of the script. I grabbed my phone, started recording because proof. I needed proof for my sanity. I overheard the best man whisper. Can you believe he kept this hidden for months? Oh, I could believe it. I was living it. I don't know if I screamed or cried. Probably both. People stared. Bridesmaids gave me looks like I was insane, that I didn't storm out. I couldn't. I stayed. Watched every I do. Every kiss. Every perfect, fake moment of happiness. And in that moment, I knew I had a choice. Confront him right there in front of everyone, or plot the most satisfying revenge possible. Part 2, so yeah. I showed up to what I thought was a friend's event and realized I was sitting front row at my boyfriend's own wedding. Instead of quietly slipping away, I did the one dramatic, stupid, brilliant thing I still don't fully regret. I confronted him. In front of every single person there. It got loud. It got ugly. It got unforgettable that it was mid-ceremony. Vows humming around me. Petals in the air. I remember thinking, this is a fever dream. Jake was saying the words about for better or worse. And I felt my chest tighten, so hard it hurt. I stood up. Slowly. People turned. The groom's smile faltered. The bride blinked at me like I was some storm cloud spoiling the sunshine. I walked down the aisle, and because the world has no mercy, my voice came out steadier than I felt. Jake, can we talk? Right now. He stammered, whole ceremony paused, and then he did the thing cowards do. He tried to laugh it off. Babe, what are you doing here? Sit down, I said, loud enough for the bridesmaids to hear. You told me we were exclusive. You told me you loved me. You told me we'd move in. Which one was the lie? Then everything happened at once. The officiant froze. The pastor cleared his throat. The bride's sister rose and asked, shaky, who is this? Jake's smile crumpled. He whispered, it's complicated. Classic. I pulled out the receipts I'd kept on my phone. Text threads, voicemails where he'd promised me the future, the little voice notes where he said, I'm so lucky. I hit play on one voice note right there in the chapel. His voice saying, I can't tell her yet, not until after the wedding. There was a beat of silence, so thick you could hear someone drop a fork in the reception hall next door. Then the murmurs started. The bride's face went white. She stared at Jake like she'd been carved open. He stuttered. I didn't mean for it to. That's when the bride grabbed his hand and said to him, painfully calm, you've been engaged to me for months. Who else have you been saying that to? From there it snowballed. Guests pulled out phones and started recording. The bride's mother screamed something about, how could you? Jake tried to apologize to me, then to his bride, then to the priest, and it sounded hollow every time. The bridesmaids rallied around the bride. A few of Jake's friends looked like they wanted to crawl under their chairs. At one point, Jake lunged forward, whispering, "Don't humiliate me." And I said, loud as church bells, "You humiliated me first." He tried to call me selfish, said I could have handled things privately. But privately? I've been lied to in private for months. The aisle was the only place left that felt honest. After the initial chaos, everything turned into aftershocks. The bride left the venue before the reception, dragging her mother behind her. A guest whispered. A few people left. A few stayed, fascinated, the kind of public train wreck you can't look away from. Jake's family split. Some stood by him, others couldn't hide their disgust. My friend stood with me outside while I sobbed and raged in equal parts. Within hours, clips of the confrontation were online. Within a day, his fiancée had posted a short statement. "I deserve the truth. I am heartbroken." Jake texted me a flurry of messages, apologies, threats, then begging. I saved them all. Confronting him publicly ruined the wedding. It also destroyed any chance of him gaslighting me later by saying it was private. I didn't feel like a villain. I felt like someone who refused to be erased. A week later, friends of mine who'd suspected things quietly reached out and said they were glad it came out. The bride's family later thanked me privately for showing them the truth before she married into lies. Did I humiliate him? Yes. Did I ruin a day someone probably wanted to be perfect? Yes. Do I regret it? Not for a second. If you've ever been the one erased, you know that sometimes the only thing that brings you back is the sound of your own voice in a crowded room. Part 3. So, remember Jake? The guy who was engaged to a woman while secretly dating me? Yeah. The wedding confrontation went viral. And I thought that was the messy part. Turns out, nothing prepared me for what happened next. The day after the wedding meltdown, I woke up to a storm. My phone buzzing nonstop with news articles, screenshots, and DMs. People tagging me in posts, some praising me, some calling me a villain. Jake texting me from every number he could find, claiming, "You ruined my life. I'll make you pay." I stayed calm. I had receipts. Every text, every voice note, every lie saved. I wasn't scared, not yet. I was ready within a week. The bride publicly posted a statement. "Thanks to the truth coming out, I can start fresh." Boom. Crowd cheers online. Jake's family was split, his sister publicly shaming him, while his parents tried to defend him. The story blew up locally, tabloids, social media, even a short segment on morning news. Jake's face was everywhere. Meanwhile, I got DMs from people saying things like, "You are the hero we didn't know we needed. If I were in your shoes, I'd have done the same." It was wild. I didn't expect fame, but apparently being the side person exposed in the cleanest way possible makes you viral. Then Jake escalated. He tried to contact my job, claiming I'd slandered him. My HR laughed after seeing screenshots. He showed up outside my apartment one night, looking desperate, drunk, trying to apologize. I had to call the cops. A few weeks later, he hired a reputation manager to try to erase all posts. Didn't work. Internet doesn't forget. Here's the kicker. I found out the bride had started dating someone new, someone who actually respected her. Jake moved out of town quietly, a small apartment, minimal social life, desperate to rebuild after being exposed. And me? I finally felt free. Not just from Jake, but from the chaos, the lies, the secret life I didn't sign up for. It was messy. It was dramatic. But sometimes exposing the truth is the only way to really breathe again. S.O. Reddit. Wedding meltdowns, viral chaos, public humiliation, totally messy, totally worth it. Jake lost the engagement, the reputation, the control, and I walked away with nothing but receipts, pride, and my sanity intact.